guys and girls, I just wanted to say Happy New Year and do a little video about the R rating which Australia now has, because you guys, obviously most of you guys are from overseas, so you're probably wondering how it works. So I might even go back and just explain why Mortal Kombat was banned in Australia. Like that. So, alright, so I've just grabbed a whole lot of games and Blu-rays just randomly, and I'll explain this to you. So the way it worked in Australia is that we have a rating system which is which spans movies and TV and video games. Now, when I was young, I'll give you an example of something that did change. Sorry, as I was saying, when I was young, we had a rating that changed. Now, I thought this affected the Terminator, but I guess I'm wrong because it doesn't look like it. So what I was going to say is we had the G rating, which is general. Then we had PG, which is parental guidance. Then we had an M, which was an M and a circle in it, which is what my Terminator says actually. This one here, which is, these have been changed now by the way, I'll show you those in a minute. But M and a circle means recommended for people 15 and over. Just recommended, it's not enforced, do you know what I mean? And then, I remember, I swear this was rebranded. This is a pretty old DVD now. Maybe it has been rebranded, but then they brought in MA 15 plus, which means only people 15 and over can watch this. We also have in Australia, so for an example of an MA 15 plus here, Resident Evil 5. As you can see here, that is an MA game. That was our highest video game rating, which meant only people 15 and over could play it. We didn't have anything higher than this. This was the problem. This is what was causing games to be banned in Australia. Now the thing that was bullshit was, we did have the higher rating on movies, as you can see here, Wild at Heart, which is R-rated, high level violence, coarse language, sex scenes, all the good stuff. You know, we had this rating. And it pisses me off that we had the rating here all this time, but they never allowed it for video games. That was the problem that Australia faced with games. So every time a game came out, all the best games, I'll just grab 3 here for example. Bulletstorm, that was pretty fucked up, that game. It got jammed down into a MA 15 plus category to get the game out in Australia. As you can see, there's a lot of shit listed here to the side. Strong violence and coarse language, game experience may change online. Oh, okay, it's not that much, I guess. Assassin's Creed Revelations, strong violence, and Resident Evil, which is strong violence as well. You know, so pretty much all the games I like are pretty much MA 15 plus, and that's because they've been jammed down into that category. But honestly, I can tell you honestly, truthfully, and I really do support, and I really do think we should have had the R rating a long time ago. A game, I'm not a bit of a fuddy-duddy, but I'm going to say a game like Bulletstorm and God of War should not have been MA games. I'm sorry, no. And I'd say that about the new Mortal Kombat. Those games, Bulletstorm, I found hilarious and violent and funny, and I think they really should be played by people 18 and over. But because of our bad rating system, a lot of games were jammed down into a 15 category so young people could play it. Whereas if we had the higher rating, they wouldn't have even tried to push the game into a younger market. They would probably just put it into the R rating. So, as of January 1st, 2013, excuse me, we have an R rating for video games. Hooray! So finally, this doesn't matter anymore. We have an R rating for games and movies, but, there is a but. they still reserve the right to ban games here if they don't like it. And if you read the fine print when it comes to the R rating, it's basically saying things like the short answer is that pretty much violent games will be allowed through, but games that have sex can be banned. Games that have illegal drug use can still be banned. Now, that I can give you 2 examples right there of games that were banned in Australia because of those things. Leisure Suit Larry, Magna Cum Laude on Xbox was banned here because it was a sex game. But, you know, Leisure Suit Larry's a fun game, and I've been playing those my whole life, and they shouldn't be fucking banned here as far as I'm concerned, even though the last few ones did really suck. That's a very classic franchise, and I don't understand how I can play Grand Theft Auto or Bulletstorm and shove a fucking grenade up someone's ass and it goes fire in the hole, and then that guy explodes, and then his dead carcass goes flying and lands on a fucking cactus and impales itself. But you can't show a fucking titty or a fucking sex scene. That is a joke. Don't agree with that at all. So, yeah, so they can still say that a game with sex isn't allowed on the market. And they can still say a game with illegal drug use isn't allowed on the market. Now, an example for that would be Midway's Blitz the League, which was banned here in Australia because you could take illegal drugs and then go out on the field and fucking win the competition. And for some reason, that was really frowned upon. And my head still scratches about that one. Like, I don't really see that as a big deal. Like, I think it's a whole influential thing, you know. Oh, we're teaching kids to take drugs or some bullshit like that, which is totally fucking rubbish. Yeah, so Midway's Blitz the League, and another really big title, which I think is really undeserving, maybe even more so than Blitz the League, was the Fallout game. Fallout in Australia, they had to change it because you could take morphine shots in the game. And they said that's illegal drug use, and they wouldn't allow the game out here unless they changed it. So they had to change them to health packs here. Really, Australia? Really? So, a game like Mortal Kombat, I don't think it will ever have a problem anymore in Australia. Good for me, you know. But the R rating still needs a lot of work. I guess we'll have to wait and see how it goes. Maybe those games will just be allowed through, and maybe they're just keeping that wild card there. So if a game like, you know, something really full on comes out, they're not going to allow it through. But, you know, that being said, one of the most full on games I played, and I really love this game, and you know what, I haven't even beaten it. I really should go back and beat it. Was LA Noire. That game was amazing on so many levels, and it was developed here in Australia, funny enough. And you go to these crime scenes, and you've got this woman, and she's stark fucking naked. She's been like raped or killed or something. I think it was just killed. And when I say stark naked, I mean all the way naked, man. I'm talking tits. I'm talking bush. You know, and this game was, it had such a depth of realism to it, which is what I love. I love movies, and I hate watered down shit. I really do. And when I was playing LA Noire, I'm like, fuck, this is awesome. I really do feel like I'm a cop in fucking 1940, whatever, in LA. Because I'm going to these crime scenes, and it's showing me the brutality. It's showing me the realism of a crime scene. And I have to investigate and find all the clues and shit. And then I'm chasing the guy down the road, and then I'm interrogating him in the cop station. That was a brilliant fucking game. LA Noire was a brilliant game. And I feel really bad for the way those people were treated, because those people who worked on LA Noire were really abused by the company, the developer. They really pushed the employees really hard to get that game out, and overworked them, and a whole lot of shit happened, and they're gone now. And that really sucks, because they made an absolutely outstanding title. And so that being said, could a game like that be banned in Australia now under the R rating? I mean, LA Noire came out without the R rating, but I guess because it was based on a real sort of crime. But you know, they're always going to turn a funny look to a game like Manhunt, which was banned in Australia. they're always going to be like, that game has no point because it's outright violence. It's just you're a guy who's escaped from jail and you got to go and kill all these people, you know. And funny enough, Manhunt came out here in Australia for a while before it got banned. And a long time ago, I walked into this second-hand shop. I won't say which one. And I went in there, and I was friends with the guy, and I was buying, you know me, I was buying all old Mortal Kombat games and second-hand games, and going in there every day to see if they had anything new. And I went in there at the time, and they had a Manhunt there, sitting in the cabinet, sealed, with the plastic around it and all. And I'm like, shit, I'll take that, you know. And so I got a Manhunt on PS2, sealed. And it turns out, he goes, oh, we got more. You interested? He opened the cupboard. They had 50 copies in there, brand new, sealed, and I was going to buy them all. I actually wanted to go back, and I'd made him an offer and everything, and I just, at the time, just couldn't get the money together, and this was like years ago. And I never got them. I only ever bought that one copy for myself. But they had a whole cupboard full of them, and this was after they were banned, which was totally illegal to sell. And someone must have just dumped them there and they didn't know, do you know what I mean? Like, maybe someone who even worked for the supplier in Australia got a whole box of them and just dumped them in the second-hand store. It happens, you know. But, yeah, there's a lot of games that have been banned in Australia. I actually have a list that I was working on for a long time, which is on my old computer, of all the games banned in Australia. And there's been a lot over the years. The ones that stand out for me would be Postal, Carmageddon came really close, but it never got banned. Of course, the latest Mortal Kombat, Leisure Larry. One of the most stupid bans was Left 4 Dead. That got censored. It's crap. Well, there was another game that was... There's been a lot, you know, like, and it's just stupidity. You know, but we've got the R rating now. It's cool. I'm happy. It's definitely a big step. One other thing I need to mention though is, as far as Australia goes, we've got our 7 states, and you know, there's still a few states that aren't fully in on the R rating. So as I said, I used to live in Queensland where they'd banned bloody Mortal Kombat. They still haven't come to the table on the R rating. So it's uncertain what Queensland's going to do with the R rating. And it turns out, I've been reading a lot of the stuff on the website, in Western Australia, the westmost part of Australia, and South Australia, which is to the left of where the state I'm in, Victoria, they have special rules regarding selling and rental of R-rated games. Like, they might need to be under the counter or something. So it's very diverse with what's going on, and the information sort of all scattered all over the IFLC website, or the classification board website they call it now. What I did do was give them a call 2 days ago, and I spoke to someone there, and I asked them if anyone had applied to resubmit a banned game. And I even mentioned Mortal Kombat as my example. I just said, look, I know a lot about Mortal Kombat being banned in Australia. I'm just wondering, have Warner Brothers resubmitted an application to get it released in Australia? Because as far as I know, the way it works is this: if your game was previously banned, like Mortal Kombat, you can resubmit it for free to be classified if it was previously banned. That's what I think. I'm not 100% sure on that one, but I'm not sure if they need to pay to get it out again. But she couldn't tell me if anyone had applied to have a game released. She couldn't give that information out. She said they're only allowed to, excuse me, oh, I had a beer before. They're only allowed to give out info that's when a game's either been banned or not banned or released. And she said to me, you know, it would be silly for big companies. They'd probably get on the bandwagon straight away and try and get stuff out. So she didn't tell me anything specifically, but I think she was hinting at the fact that companies have come forward from the 1st of January and already put in applications to have their games released in Australia, but she wouldn't tell me who or anything. She did say, I'd expect some news by the end of the month. So it's possible that maybe Mortal Kombat or something else is going to be unbanned. I think it'd be really cool if Mortal Kombat was the first game to come back after being banned. I think that would be awesome, because it shouldn't have been banned in the first place. As far as I'm concerned, and I've had this argument with a lot of people, God of War, Bulletstorm, and Mortal Kombat, and even Gears of War, I think are all as violent as each other. While in Gears of War you're cutting someone in half with the Lancer chainsaw, in Mortal Kombat you're ripping a guy in half. It's the same type of gore, it's just that you're doing it a different way. You're doing it with either a chainsaw lancer, or you're doing it with your hands. And the example I'm using is that video, that promo video I love on the Mortal Kombat disc. I think it's on the Mortal Kombat disc. It's called Trailer to Doomsday, I think it is. And you know, Shao Kahn's like ripping Raiden in half, like raw, and he's like just fucking splits him in half. I love that. That's fucking crazy. You know, and what's the difference between that and Gears of War? Or what about God of War, where you beat your brother to death? God of War, was it 2? I'll never forget that. God of War 2, maybe 3, and you got those things on your hands that you got. I've forgotten what they're called. I've only played them once, and you're beating him into the fucking ground, and then he goes through, and that was brutal. That was fucking brutal. That was up close brutal, you know. And same with Bulletstorm. While it was quirky and funny, like fire in the hole and shoving a gun up someone's ass and pulling the trigger, and I still think that level of violence is on par with God of War and Mortal Kombat. And I think Mortal Kombat really did get the shit end of the stick when it came to the rating. And I really think that there was something else going on, some other reason it was banned. Because they were really funny about it, you know, and not everyone voted for it to be banned, which means it shouldn't have been banned, and they didn't end up putting the official reason why it was banned on the website, but if you call them up, they tell you it's there, but it's not, because I've got it from Gamer Sutra. They had the final decision, but they never put it up on the OFLC website. They put up the first, it was banned, and then what's the word? Where they're resubmitting it to be unbanned again. They've got those 2 releases, but they don't have the absolutely final decision on why it was banned. And they did give that out, but they only gave it out to Gamer Sutra and like 2 other websites. And the whole thing was really fishy. It stunk. It stunk like conspiracy theory. It wouldn't surprise me if like the church was involved or something behind the scenes, or some minister or something, because I know a long time ago Philip Ruddock wanted that Mark Echo's Getting Up banned, and he got that banned. He just suggested to the OFLC that it should be banned because it is a bad influence and teaches our kids to graffiti buildings. Of course, he just thought because the guy was a rapper and you could, I think he was a rapper, and you could go and spray paint buildings that it should be banned, whereas he had no fucking clue in regards to the fact that the same game had been released 2 years before on Dreamcast, Jet Set Radio, or Jet Grind Radio it's called here, which was the same thing, except you were a teenager and you could spray paint buildings. So what's the point in banning a game that has the same thing in it? And I mean, what's the point really? You got one game where you spray paint buildings and you skateboard, and you got another game where you spray paint buildings and you're a rapper, and the second one gets banned because there's a rapper name attached to it, a big name star, but the act is the same. So yeah, I just wanted to do this little video. I'm really excited that we have the R rating. I'm hoping that MK gets a release here. I think if it does get a release here, I don't think we'll ever see Mortal Kombat out here. I think we'll only see Mortal Kombat Complete Edition and Mortal Kombat on Vita. That would be my guess, though. That's not backed up by anything. But, I mean, Mortal Kombat Complete Edition had the characters, and it had the digital soundtrack and the movie. The movie you can get here on Blu-ray, and the soundtrack I don't think so. So it's possible if it does come out here, it might not have those features, you know, because Australia's like different and shit. I've never even claimed this digital soundtrack because I was lucky enough to get a bonus one. There's the Mortal Kombat movie, yeah. Yeah, so I'd say if Warner do release it here, it'd probably end up being Complete Edition and MK on Vita. So yeah, I just wanted to do that little video, little update. Still got Assassin's Creed 3, I know, these reviews are so delayed. Assassin's Creed 3, not Bioshock, I'm going crazy. Borderlands 2 reviews to do. I want to get them done, probably not for a week. I got something on this week. So next week, once I've reviewed them, I'm going to do a whole lot of online play, live play. And then the next game that I'll be reviewing that's not Mortal Kombat related should be Bioshock Infinite, which is, I think, Feb? Might be March. I also did try and pre-order Injustice Gods Among Us for Wii U Collector's Edition. There is no Collector's Edition, so that's shit. I gotta say, that's bad for the Wii U to do that. That's pretty bad. I guess Warners are taking it. I just can't think today. I guess they're just taking it easy, and they're just worried that there's not going to be enough sales for a new console. So they haven't done any collector's editions. There were collector's editions on Xbox and PS3. So I've ordered a PS3 one, Injustice Gods Among Us Collector's Edition. So we'll be doing an unboxing. But I do want to do the majority of the gameplay on Wii U, just because I really do like the Wii U system. I think it's getting a bit of a rough treatment at the moment by a lot of gamers. It's got a lot of cool features, the Wii U. I love the secondary screen and everything, and it's good to play with. And yeah, I just really like Nintendo in general. It's good hardware and everything. So yeah, but that's further down the track. I guess if I can get these reviews done, Assassin's Creed 3 and Borderlands 2, and get a bit of online play done, there might be even a gap in there in the middle where I can maybe go back to some of the Mortal Kombat stuff that's missing that I never completed, like the Conquest reviews or something. Just depends how it goes, you know. I want to sort of get videos, at least a video up a week. That's sort of the plan at the moment. Still looking at bringing back the Outworld tours as well. Actually, I did a green screen test, and check this out. Basically, found a really good way to do the green screen now, and as you can see from this video, the green screen is looking fantastic. Just ignore the editing, because this is just footage I filmed from the last Outworld tour video, but Alex was the one who made it all smoothly pieced together. I don't know how to do that. He does that in After Effects. But for basic green screen, as you can see here, the green screen looks absolutely fantastic. And I've got to thank Doug Walker, the Nostalgia Critic, for that, actually, because he edits on Premiere Pro like me. And he put up a video, just, you know, the making of a Nostalgia Critic episode, which I watched. And in that he said he used the Ultra key for green screening. And I was always using the Chroma key because it had an adjustment on it. You could adjust the amount of green that it removed, and I always had to put it pretty high because, you know, I had wrinkles, or I didn't have the lights properly, and now I've got diffusers and that, but that always sort of damaged the edge of me a bit. You know, if you look carefully in those videos, there's a bit of fuzz, you know, whereas this new Ultra key effect is perfect. It just does it. I mean, there's one thing I've got to adjust in there, pedestal, I think it is. I've got to adjust that like all the way up, just because there's a little bit of shadow, but if I put that all the way up, it just goes away, and the end result is amazing. So if I do end up doing I'm bringing back Outworld tours and doing a whole lot on my own, where I'm just sort of talking about the stages or something, I can make them look really good now with a HD camera and this new effect. So that's exciting. So yeah, that's pretty much what's going on with channel TotalMK, and I'll see you guys soon for some reviews. And as always, thanks for watching, and hopefully it's going to be a great year this year, 2013. See you soon.